Hi, my name is MEHMOOD Khan, and in the next couple of minutes, I will be talking about the social and cultural context of two picture books, Walk of the Whales and The King Pig. Both are written by one of the most prominent Australian author, Nick Bland. Nick currently works as an author and illustrator. His books, which include The Very Cranky Bear, The Wrong Book, and The Runaway Hug, have been recognized by many awards. He often uses rhymes in his picture books. His stories stem on a political viewpoint about prejudice, fairness, and greed. He generally uses animal characters so that race or gender need not to be defined directly. His picture books are generally humorous and uses comedy to tell those aspects of the society which we don't want to listen straight away. So moving on with the first book, The Walk of the Whales. The genre of this book is narrative in nature. The whales and the people around the city portrayed as the tenor, while the feel of the story corresponds to the whales roaming in the city and making it difficult for humans to live with them. The story goes as the whales coming out of the ocean and started roaming on the land. They created many issues, problems, and ruckus around the city, which led to the hate directed at the whales. Until one small girl talked to the whales and asked them why they were in the city. The whales had to escape the ocean because of us. We created the marine pollution so much and made it unlivable for them in the oceans. But because humans can also be amazing, loving and caring the world around them, they clean up the oceans at last for the whales and now seeing them off happily. Certainly we should think about the messages in the story and how our actions impact the world around us. If I talk about the cultural context of this book, I would say humans in the name of development exploit the environment. On the surface, the book is all about humans not caring for the oceans. There's more thing we can do about something that covers almost 70% of our earth and home to various flora and fauna. In our society, adults think more sophisticatedly and make things more complex, rather than children who thinks very clearly, very smoothly, and in a simpler way. For example, in this book, that little girl goes straight away to the whales and asks them why they were here, why not in the ocean. And when they get to know the problem, they can figure out the solution as well. Thirdly, I would say it is us who need to work together to just solve the problems in last. Because what had happened is, it's not an individual who need to do work. We need to create, when we are creating problems as a society, we need to sort it out as a society as well, right? If I talk about the social context, I would say Nick reflects the essence of a diverse mixed society very clearly, very cleverly, I would say, because he mentioned and he portrayed a man with a turban in the park and a girl with hijab eating a food in the restaurant, and also he uses a variety of people with different skin colors so that everyone can be included in the picture, right? Secondly, the prominence of sporty culture was also visible on various instances, via swimming, cycling, skipping, and so on. So he shows the importance of sports in our society. Thirdly, he also mentioned how we treat change, how we acknowledge something which is not normal. We usually get distracted with that and become very abnormal and weird, rather than just going to the problem and bringing the solution to that. So we need to change the behavior of ourselves. The second book, The King Pig, has been very amazing. The genre of this book is narrative in nature. The king pig and sheep's portrayed as a tenor, while the feel of the story tells us about the dictatorship of the king pig. In the story, the king pig is the grand ruler of the sheep. He can make them do whatever he wants to do and whenever he wants to do. For example, he can just call them up in the middle of the night to clean his castle and they have to come up. King Pig thinks he's a leader and who can get the sheep do whatever he wants. But while he could make them do silly things, they did not like him and kept ignoring him. And this is what bothering him so much. At last, a little voice suggested to him to try to be nice and that will help, and he worked upon it. Although that does not work instantly, but that was a great start. Now, if I talk about the cultural context of this book and why this book is so much important for the Australian curriculum and the kids, I would say this story has an important message about friendships. How to be friends just by being nice to others. Number 2 that I found very important is the background score scenes of this book seem to have been like British fortified ensembles, and costumes of the king also reflect the medieval British culture, right? And thirdly, I would say the herd mentality in the behavior of sheep can be seen very clearly. And if we need to break that herd mentality, one has to come up with some idea and some suggestion. If I talk about the social context of this book, the change in the king pig behavior towards the sheep also explains the internal nature of a person to be noticed and respected. Yeah, with time, he realizes that one can gain respect only if one treats others with equal respect and not as subject to exploitation. Yeah. Number two, how a little voice can create a big impact on cruel king pig. When that little sheep said, maybe you could try to be nice. So it's just a little voice, a little effort that can create an impact as well. Thirdly, I would say, as a society, people tend to be with those leaders, those heroes, those front workers, frontiers, who are inclusive, humble, and create a conducive environment for each and everyone, not for specific person and race or society. Yeah, you should include each and everyone. Now I would talk about something that is related to Australian curriculum and why these two books are important for learning and teaching and learning process in the Australian classrooms. I would say these two books push the learners to inquire the way ahead where the story ends. For example, in the first book, what are the cause and effects of environmental degradation? And similarly, in the second book, what are the other things King Pig can do to be more nice, right? Now, Nick shows mixed culture in The Walk of the Whales, which connects with Australia as a linguistically and culturally diverse society, showing the links with Asia as well. And it is needed to read the pictures as well as the words together because both of them are in perfect harmony with each other.